I'm starting a new journal today. I'm really happy that I finished the old one, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of start it with you and share how I start a new journal. This year has probably been the biggest year for me in terms of finishing the journals that I have. And I think what helped was I have been getting pretty small journals that are around 30 pages, so it's pretty easy for me to finish it in like a month. Second, I have read The Morning Ritual, The Artist's Way, and I've been implementing the morning pages, which is pretty much in the morning, first thing in the morning, write 3 pages. Whatever comes to mind. It can be words, it can be images, and I do tend to lean towards images. With that being said, I finished my last journal. There's a lot going on in life, and I'm so excited. I got this tiny little baby journal that I'm so excited because I can bring it with me. I'm planning on going to a park and I'll do some journaling, but I'm so excited. And journals are great. I think they are so helpful for sorting out your energy, your emotions, your mind, understanding where your soul is at, being able to actually track products, gain accountability, like all of that good stuff. Journals are amazing. I have multiple journals. I have one for business. I have one for projects. I have one for, I've been learning French for a while, as you know, so I have one for learning French. And I have one specifically when I go to museums, or I'm traveling, or I just have the time. I have an art journal, which is me exploring what art really is to me and how I define that. So each one of these journals are totally different, and I love them. I love this one. I got them at the Met, and I just love it. I do little drawings, and it's like no pressure. It's just exploring what art is. But this is more of a daily journal, I guess. I think I have art journal, but anyways, I'll change that. This is like the daily journal, and this is how I stay sane. It is so important, and if you do not journal, this is your sign to journal, okay? Okay. So the first page is not as important as you think. I think talking with friends and noticing it within myself, there's like a lot of pressure on that first page, the artist block, the need for it to be perfect. And to that I say you should mess up the first page of your journal. You should, I'm gonna close my eyes and see, I got this beautiful pink pen, and you should have fun with it. Just like a child would scribble on something that they really shouldn't, but now you're an adult and it's okay, you can scribble in this, you know, in this book. It's for you to make mistakes. That's really how I see a journal. It's a place where you can really explore without fear of failure. The goal is to better understand yourself and to process the life that you're living. So I'm just taking a random marker and I'm just playing. I'm just doing a little doodle. I think it's fun. Maybe I'll do like a little heart. Maybe I'll do like a little flower. And the goal is just to release any pressure of beginning a journal, thinking that it has to be perfect, because it will be perfect. Because you use it, and that's the intention. You know, the main intention is let's just use this. Okay, I like that. So now I'm gonna go in with like an actual writing utensil. I got my pen, and I'm going to just write down any intentions I have for this journal. Usually this is directed at things that I want to learn or explore more, to understand about myself, and I'm going to take a moment to do that right now. Maybe I'll put my name on this page just because it's mine. So I always start the journal by kind of just like the intention. of this book and then writing down anything that comes to mind, is to create, is to create art, is to better understand my feelings, is to write down ideas and write down as many intentions that you have, as many things that you'd like to explore, or whatever excites you. And we'll take a moment to do that now. I really like this part because the intention, subconsciously, even if I forget what I wrote down, it does help. Helps my mind kind of stew and cook and really explore the intention that I'm writing down. And oddly enough, I never really feel like I guess, again, the main thing is like release any pressure or expectations of what the journal is going to be. If it's going to be like full of masterpieces, maybe that is your intention and you want to really hone your craft of art. Or if it's just going to be a place for you to jot down ideas or follow up with projects or just have a tool for reflection. Whatever it is, write it down. Okay, so I wrote down my little intention. I think that's pretty good. I'm gonna be using this really as a place to create meaningful art, clear my mind, understand my heart, process projects and ideas, just feel alive and have a place to document that, as well as developing actual products and goods that will support me so I can continue to do this. Okay, sweet. So first page is done. We got a messy page and we got a intentional page. Now, sometimes if I still feel pressure, I will go to the end of the book and I will also mess up the end of the book, which is to say I will just scribble and have fun there. That way, it kind of makes me feel a little bit like I need to close the gap, and it helps with filling up all these pages and feeling inspired so that I can reach that end and I have a full book at the bottom, when I'm done. But for now, I'm going to start journaling, just start writing. I like to do a self-reflection, so I'm going to take a moment to do that. I'm just going to use pencil and do a little self-portrait. I like doing these self-portraits because it kind of helps me get an understanding of where I was at emotionally, depending on the colors, what materials I used. It's a fun practice, and I also think, of course, it's helping you if you want to get better at drawing portraits. It's gonna help you get better at drawing portraits. Okay. Self-portrait, nothing too crazy, but good enough. And I'm gonna go through and just ink a little bit. Just ink the areas that I want. And I have my little self-portrait for the day. Let's get it. Seeing if it's raining outside. This is fun. It's definitely a process that gets you just in the moment. And while I'm drawing, I'll take this time to just share a bit about what else is going on and what to expect with my channels, because I've also realized that I have kind of been neglecting my social media platform in terms of pretty much what how I'm serving those that are viewing, and I want to be more intentional with that as well. I want to make sure that I understand what and how the people that I am interacting with, what they're struggling with, and how I can help, if I can help. And just to listen and hear people out a little bit more, to have that understanding and that compassion so that I can better create videos. Sometimes when I took a break, it was because I felt super duper awkward, and I needed to help myself. And now I'm in a position where, again, I'm like, yes, I can actually open myself up to help others. But before we hop on that train, let me make sure I understand what help others are wanting and if I'm equipped to help them. What's good, James? you just tuned in towards the end of this live stream, I'm just doing a little self-portrait for the beginning of the journal. But we have our messy page, our intention page, and then I have a portrait. And I think on this blank page, I'm just gonna write a little bit about like what's coming up, how I'm feeling, you know, my to-do list for the day. Currently I'm in Paris, and I'm kind of horrified about talking because Parisians are their own breed. They kind of remind me of New Yorkers, which I'm familiar with, except, of course, they really do prefer you talk, you know, tu parles en français. And my French is at like a 3-year-old level. So we're going to see how we can navigate the city with this level of vocabulary. But other than that, pretty good. Oh, one last thing too. I really do like, make sure you, I almost forgot the date, okay? The date. The date is pretty important. I think it's helpful to know what day it is when you begin a journal, and then you'll have an idea when you finish what day it is. So definitely date your journal in your first entry, because that will help. That will help in the future you when you're looking back and you're wondering, when did I start this journal? And yeah, I think for the most part, I feel pretty good with the little baby self-portrait. I feel like she came out pretty cute. One thing that's been fascinating me lately are lips, and I am thinking like, how do I go about studying them? So that's one of my goals for the day. Going to some different galleries and just studying the mouth and then drawing it. So this is the book that I'm going to be using, and I'm so excited. Like, it is so fun to start a new journal, because it grows with you, you know. It's like an album of your life if you let it. And I think the key word is just like no pressure. Never put pressure on yourself to make it look a certain type of way. I have so many journals that never see the light of day, and I never plan for them to see the light of day. Maybe a couple pages, but they're not meant for people to see. They're meant for me to process things, and it really is a beautiful platform. Of course, I love posting stuff, but I'm also learning, like, I love privacy, and I love having good boundaries, because sometimes I just need to go inside, and sometimes you need to go inside too, and do that inner work. So let journaling be a help when it comes to that. But yes, so that's pretty much all I have. I'm going to finish my to-do list, but thank you for tuning in. And again, if you are starting a new journal, I'd love to know, how do you start your journals? I would really love to hear that, what that ritual looks like, or if there's anything that you include or would, you know, do differently. Please let me know. Thank you for joining, and I will see you in the next video. God bless. Namaste. Peace. Oop.